Yo, what's going on guys? Rhys here from Stoic Pool, and in this episode of Catalyst Talk, I catch up with Ben from HODLR Pool to talk about his Lucem proposal for Catalyst Fund A. This is a white-labeled fork of the Nano wallet for stake pool operators to basically have another thing that they can offer to their community. It's a really cool proposal. The guy's really nice, family-run stake pool operator, and it's a really cool conversation. We talk about carbon neutral Cardano, we talk about solar powered setups, we talk about meme tokens, we talk about all kinds of other stuff. He's just an interesting guy, really friendly. This is a great conversation I think you're going to enjoy. Let's get into it. Right guys, so I'm joined here with Ben from HODLR Pool, and we're going to be talking about his Lucem wallet proposal. And this is really interesting, right? But I'm not going to start talking about it already. Ben, do you want to just say hi, introduce yourself, and a little bit about your proposal?
Sure. Hi, community. My name's Ben. I'm with HODLR, and we're working on a fork of NAMI. We recognize the work that Alexander Conrad did on NAMI as some fantastic work, and he made a great wallet, very usable, user-friendly, simple, and yet feature-rich, right? And he also made it open source, which is this superpower that exists in the technical industry, where we have collaborative efforts on projects, and it really draws in developers whenever you make something open source. So our idea was initially we wanted to fork NAMI and make a HODLR branded wallet, and or at least a branded wallet to offer our delegators, really. And it quickly turned into a bit more. We're always in this conversation within HODLR, which is, by the way, a family affair. I started HODLR with my brother and my sister. We are a decentralized family. We've kind of each moved into our own regions of the United States. So this is a great way, one, for us to stay connected and work together on a project, but it also fits great into the whole concept of decentralization. But back to Lucem. So we started Lucem, and we wanted to offer our delegators this branded wallet. And we quickly found out that NAMI is not eligible for the Google extension store any longer because of its fairly low level issue with a manifest version. So manifest version 2 is being sunsetted here later on this year. And manifest version 3 is required, and it's going to take a bit of work to bring the NAMI open source project into manifest version 3. And that was our first real challenge. And the next challenges we talk about are really more about differentiating Lucem from other wallet offerings, from NAMI itself, and hopefully developing some features that find their way back into NAMI too. And in that way, we kind of give back to the open source project that we're forking from. So this first stage is to really fork NAMI and get a MVP release of Lucem Wallet, right? And that's really what Fund 8 is all about for us. And we're confident that this can be done in a fairly short time frame, maybe a couple months. A lot of the reskinning and rebranding is already complete, but that was really the easy part. And then making these manifest version 3 upgrades is a little bit more challenging, but also very doable. And then beyond that, we would like to move the back end of these wallets to more decentralized solutions and also greener solutions, right? HODLR's part of carbon neutral Cardano. And we've really tried to lean into something that's true to ourselves. And when we were looking at how we're going to market our stake pool, how we give back to the community, how we improve Cardano, we kind of looked internally and said, hey, we're passionate about climate, and we're passionate about the pending, what we see as a pending climate crisis. So I've had some solar panels on my house for a number of years. We started HODLR, and then my brother also put solar panels on his house. And in that way, we can run our stake pool and hopefully the back end of this wallet off of 100% renewables. And that's really our differentiator right now, is that we're going to offer a green solution to wallet services. Meanwhile, giving back to the open source projects, that we're relying on for this wallet.
That's pretty cool.
Right. We're really excited about it. Yeah.
I think the green energy thing is just like, that's it, isn't it? That's such a good differentiator. People don't think, but when people compare like energy usage, they often just think about the nodes, right? They think about the stake pools, or they think about miners. They don't really think about the other infrastructure that actually makes up quite a huge part of the functionality of any particular blockchain. I think greenifying a wallet is good.
When we joined Carbon Neutral Cardano, and they've really taught us a lot. They talk about this in all of their meetings. About we have off-chain energy use that even as they try to capture the energy use of the Cardano blockchain itself. What makes it, much more complicated is trying to gather all of this off-chain work that's being done and growing and changing every day. So if we can start moving this off-chain power consumption to green energy right off the bat, I think we kind of get ahead of our carbon problem in Cardano in general. And proof of stake already has this superpower of being so energy efficient. So it's not really that much of a leap to take us to carbon neutrality, right? I mean, we're not there yet, of course, in the totality of Cardano and everything everyone has going on. We're certainly more efficient than any other blockchain, I would imagine. But we're still not carbon neutral. But I think we're going to get there, and I think it's going to be a major selling point for external adoption, right? I mean, like most countries, most organizations have this climate crisis, on their radar at least, and some are front and center on their radar. So when they also see the benefits and power of the blockchain, and then they have to make that decision, I'm hoping that the carbon neutrality or the green superpower that Cardano has really pushes adoption in the long run, and that's good for everybody, right? I mean, that's good for the planet. It's good for the Cardano developers community, and everybody involved.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I was on a space with our friend Christian yesterday, and he was saying, I think it was, we need one wind turbine that would generate enough power to offset every stake pool. according to their calculations, depending on where it's
That
put, I guess.
that sounds like a pretty great project.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? So I think that's the next thing he wants to work on, like get one of them put up somewhere. Because even though cool. Obviously those stake pools wouldn't be taking that power exactly, we would be adding that to someone's grid somewhere, right? So we're kind of offsetting those costs somewhere along the lines. And that would be something pretty cool to explore, but that obviously doesn't account for everyone's DB syncs, wallet backends, everything else that kind of goes on with that as well, which is something else to think about. But yeah, this is a great start, and it's one of those things that can really pave the way for some kind of standards, right? And just having an option like this available means that it's possible. And if it's possible for it to happen one end, then there's usually opportunities for it to happen on the other end as well. And I think it's great. It's great that you're actually kind of taking this and seeing it through. So where did Lucem come from?
The name?
Yeah.
Or the okay. I think Lucem has some relevance to light, right? And I was looking for, because HODLR is powered off of photovoltaic panels, and we feel like we're powered by the sun, and I wanted to incorporate that in a name, and I started looking at the different ways to say light in different languages, and there's a lot of different words, but a lot of them are used already, like soul, and there a lot of the options seemed familiar, but then I saw Lucem and I said, hey, I don't think that real estate's taken. It sounds like an awesome name. Let's use it.
Fair enough. What language is it?
Nothing too creative there. Let me look that up.
It's definitely a language somewhere. It's used for something.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, I have to look it up again. I didn't spend a ton of time on the name. I proposed
you were like, Lucem, cool.
I proposed it, and my partners thought it sounded great, so we went with it.
Yeah, no, it does. It does.
Latin,
it's not that. It was just out of interest. That was all.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what in your proposal you ask for $4,000 basically, or
so
$3,850. Right. So let's just talk about that, right? Because most projects ask for quite a lot of money generally, because things cost a lot of money to build, right? So let's just talk a little bit about where that number came from, and does that include my fee for marketing you guys at all? Because I'm going to invoice you for this.
Well, we're talking about changing that to $1, right? For the Catalyst proposal. No, it is a low number, and I was a co-sponsor or a co-author on a proposal in Catalyst 7, Fund 7, and we just barely did not get funded. I think we asked for 40,000. I think if we would have asked for 35,000, we would have been funded. And I said, you know what? Let's not make that mistake again. And and this Catalyst fund is really just I'm trying to get reimbursed for just a little bit of my time and effort. There's not, obviously at $3,800, there's no profit to be had from my Catalyst funding. I would argue that it really doesn't cover my time. But here at HODLR, we're not really here to be billionaires or necessarily even millionaires. We're excited about the Cardano's mission, the mission of decentralization, putting that on a green trajectory, and maybe that $3,800 is more of a reflection of our real aspirations. And they aren't necessarily to get into this space and get rich quick. It's more of a statement of impact, I think. So
yeah, makes sense. I completely get where you're coming from, and I'm inclined to agree with you as well. Like proposals we've put in for the work that needs to be done, and realistically, it's just so that I can pay the guys who are working on the proposal for the time that is going to be required, right? And I don't need to take anything else, and there's no need to. It's more important to get other proposals funded as well, so other people can do good work too, right? I don't need to have $100,000 for a proposal or something for what. And I respect that you would kind of go that low for what you're actually building, because there's a lot of stuff that can come off the back of this, right? Which we'll get into in a second, which can have a huge impact on other stake pools and other communities as well, because it's not just being built for yourself, is it? You have a goal for this to come out of the back end, and not just to get into Google Play Store, is it?
Yeah. So Fund 8, our MVP is to just have a functional wallet. But our other, we plan to, put in for funding in future rounds as well. And I think that's kind of a popular or a common trajectory for projects. I mean, it's very rare that a worthwhile project gets started and completed in 3-month funding round.
Why isn't it done yet?
Right. So, our MVP is round 8. In future rounds, we want to, take it in the green direction. And then, we want to help other stake pools do the same. I mean, right now, if you go on and I see there's over 100 forks of NAMI right now, and I don't see any of them as being successful. At least not to my knowledge. Maybe actually, let me put this out there. If anyone out there has had success forking and publishing a fork of the NAMI wallet, please reach out. I would love to talk to you and collaborate and all of that. But in future proposals, I would like to make it fairly easy for other stake pools to have their own branded wallet. And what better choice than a fantastic wallet like NAMI, right? I mean, it's fully featured. Hardware support, SIP30. So you get all of the WebSocket supports with the different DEXs, and it's still growing and being developed on, right? So it's going to stay fresh. It's going to stay functional. And I think most stake pools would jump at the opportunity to offer their delegators their own branded wallet. And from an offering standpoint, that's great. But from a Cardano standpoint, from a community standpoint, this further decentralizes our wallet offerings, particularly on the back end. Most of these wallets are relying on block frost, right? And there's a lot of great services that are decentralizing the transaction submissions, with the Submit API. And Rhys, I think you have some work that you're doing in that space. And that's super powerful as far as decentralizing the back ends of our wallet. But there's more work to be done there. And forking this and allowing other people to do the same really pushes our wallet infrastructure to a more decentralized position.
Yeah, and I love the idea of being able to offer that like white label wallet to other stake pools. Like I could have a Stoic wallet, for example. That'd be cool. Or you could even combine them and have like a carbon neutral wallet, and all of those pools could use it, which would be awesome. Maybe that wouldn't work because obviously you can only delegate through one pool at a time, but you could, it provides a lot of options. And it right now, like you say, there is this kind of bottleneck with block frost, and we've seen the effects of that. Right, we've already seen it. And so if we can get other people building their own solutions, like what you guys are doing, run your own infrastructure, then that means that we're not held to those bottlenecks, which is currently what a lot of the issues is. Although people were pointing their fingers in other directions, block frost had a major impact on the congestion that we've seen recently. And that's why the submit API thing was even being used, right, to help mitigate those issues. I love this. I think it's going to be so cool. I'm going to make a Stoic wallet once you open source it and you allow me to white label it. As long as you'll run the infrastructure for me, if that's okay, then
well, I think freeloaders might come into play there, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's actually probably what would happen. I'd just send it straight through those guys. Or us, I should say, because I'm part of it as well, right?
Right.
But yeah, mate, this is. I just think this is a really useful tool that needs to be done, right? And I'm glad you're building it. I'm glad you've already been working on it. It seems like there's a lot of work to be done still to actually get it into like any app stores. But I don't know if you just dressed it up as quite a simple problem that just is going to take a bit of time, or whether it's actually quite complicated and it's going to be a lot of hard work for you. But either way, like I'm really looking forward to see this thing come through.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. I have it actually in the Manifest version 2 version. I have the wallet functional and usable, and I use it regularly. It's my go-to wallet. But it's not released yet on the Google Play Store, and we'll get there for sure. I think this was the being able to brand and offer your own wallet. I think is something that offering your delegators additional services and additional value beyond just firing up, 3 nodes and connecting them has become a requirement for stake pools, right? Like we've been in this for almost a year now. I know a lot of stake pool operators have been in for multiple years and longer than us. And it's quickly become evident that you have to offer more, right? And we spent a lot of time looking for where we can offer more and what more we can give. And this was our solution to that. And hopefully this helps other stake pools offer more, right? Because you get stake pools in this space with a big variety of backgrounds and expertise, and not everybody is a Chrome extension developer. Not everybody has the time or the bandwidth to maybe put together a big project, but this does allow them to offer more and offer a way to help in the decentralization of our off-chain efforts, which I don't think get enough press, really.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's become so competitive that it's become a requirement, and people like delegators actually expect more, right? Yeah. Just running a good stake pool. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It just is what it is, right? And most people's idea of offering more is giving away meme coins, literally worthless tokens, right? Which is fine. I do it. I literally do as well.
Hey,
so I get it.
We don't advertise it very much, but we do give out coins on the Cardano vending machine.
Yeah.
It's a cool little service that we were that we signed up for our delegators, and it's, you go in and you can claim your meme coins every month and
Get your
accumulate them.
clams.
Get your clams, you get your huskies and your bisons, and I think there's some cock coin out there, COC coin. Yep.
I have to censor
COC.
that one.
But that's all fun, right? And I think that's all good and fine as long as you're being honest about it.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we don't press that sort of thing hard in our marketing is because you quickly get into this space or this message where you're implying some kind of value to these meme coins, even though the creators of those meme coins didn't intend it either. Yeah. And I want to keep the focus on productive work, right? The meme coins are fun. They do have a utility somewhere out there, but they don't necessarily drive Cardano's adoption or blockchain adoption in general. Yeah. Man, internally in HODLR, my brother and sister and we talk about these things regularly, and I like to compare meme coins to the reward programs that companies have, right? When I go down to the sandwich shop and I earn my 7 points or whatever for my giant sub, and then after 10 of them I get a free one. I mean, that's a legitimate use case for some of these meme tokens, right? And it's no different. It's not really anything different than, other than the security side of it, from a marketing and use case side of it. It's not that much different than what companies currently do with their point systems. If you keep it in that context, I think it's safe and it's fine. I don't necessarily agree with the speculation on meme coins. I guess I don't see the value yet. And maybe that does exist.
Yeah. Maybe, but I also think it's kind of, I don't know if it's a good idea to just have a meme coin for the sake of it and then go, oh yeah, well now we're going to provide utility later down the line. Because I think that's a bit of, I think that could be risky when it comes to legal issues, and it would be a shame for something to cause that much of a problem for the people who created it for a start, and in some cases the people who earned the tokens for free, right? Because that like things like this haven't been set in stone yet, and it can kind of go anyway at this point, either direction. And it's something that you need to be mindful of, which I think people just blindly get stuff because they're like, oh, it's free things. Yeah. Like a meme token distribution isn't the same as an airdrop of a DEX token. They're different because the DEX already has its value. It already has its use case set out, and it's important to have those things established before stuff happens, from what I've read anyway. We've dabbled in the native tokens a bit, and we've actually HODLR has minted some native tokens, and initially it was a proof of concept. I wanted to know how to do it and that I could do it. And then you bring up the point where it's, from a regulatory standpoint, it could be a can of worms. And it might not be a problem, right? It might not be a problem, but until it's too late, you're not going to know, right? And so you just got to be careful how you deal with it.
We're kind of just sitting on the native token that we created until we know what its purpose is going to be, and it has to have a productive reason for existence. And we thought maybe it could be related to small stake pools distributing their 340 epoch fee, and that problem I think is addressing itself now with the parameter changes that are proposed.
Yeah.
So
hopefully
we're kind of holding off on using it for that purpose. But we're always on the lookout for another way to use them.
One thing I've been thinking of. Go ahead.
We're not.
I don't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
No, sorry. I'm kind of rambling on. But we're not. We're just not in any big hurry to distribute them and to really use them as a method to lure delegation.
Yeah, lure. That makes it sound so naughty, doesn't it? We're just luring delegators.
It becomes a distraction from what's productive, right?
Yeah.
From producing something real.
Yeah. One thing that I've seen recently is the Unsig guys have been using like a token to essentially whitelist you for future drops, or they've been doing it with their NFTs or something like that. I can't remember the details now. Probably shouldn't have specified. But anyway, something like that might be good, where you have your meme token, which you can use to redeem for NFTs. Now, I know NFTs cost a little bit to make, obviously, but it's not that much. And you can also use sending the meme tokens, because of the min UTXO thing. You can use that as an excuse to send the min value to one address to then send back for the NFT. So it can work as like an avenue to facilitate that without having to charge people other than a transaction cost. So that might be a good use case. And then it gives people a reason to collect as well. And, I'm not saying this is what you need to do, right? But it's just an idea I was thinking of that, when you make your Lucem NFTs, it might be a nice way it might be a good example.
Yeah, definitely. It's, when I was a kid, I collected baseball cards, and a lot of these NFT collections, they reminded me of that. And there is value in baseball cards. I mean, we have historical value. There is value in nostalgia, which kind of goes along with the historical side. There's value in recreation, right? Entertainment, recreation. Those are all real things that can improve and add to people's everyday lives. Even though I'm an engineer, and from an engineering perspective, it seems a little insubstantial, but I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just maybe an extreme pragmatist.
Yeah, that's okay, right? You're allowed to have an opinion. All right, no one's going to be annoyed at you for expressing that, or they shouldn't be anyway. Right?
I've seen a lot of great NFTs out there. I love the idea that artists are going to be able to make a living. Like right now, it's swung in a big degree towards some of these artists making tremendous amounts of money in short periods of time. But I think when the NFT market hits some equilibrium, and some of these great IRL artists can have a long-term sustainable income through all of this, I think that's definitely a big positive for NFTs. And I try to keep that in mind, when I talk about meme coins and NFTs and a lot of the stuff that is hot topics in our space right now. Try not to judge. I try not to poo-poo on them. I think there's a lot of great artwork coming into the space. So yeah, I'm excited to see where it all goes. And obviously there's more use cases for NFTs than just art, right?
Yep.
I think they're going to start seeping into our everyday business lives. And I think that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I've got two proposals about real world use case for NFTs. But we're not going to get onto that in this video. We can talk about that some other time. But yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying. You know, like I get the nostalgia. I get the like collectors ideas. I don't think it's been implemented in the best way possible with NFTs. But that's my opinion. You know, I like the idea that artists can get paid for money, for work, get paid for money.
Yeah.
Excellent words there, Rhys. But yeah. So with this, you saying that you're going to have your wallet run off green energy. What kind of infrastructure do you need for that? Because obviously you already have your PV system, right? You got your solar panels. Like, can you run? Do you need a DB sync or something like that? I was under the impression you did.
Yeah. So that is certainly something that we need to nail down. I ran a DB sync. I actually, while I turned it off. I turned that node off a few months ago, but just out of personal bandwidth. But we definitely need to submit API. We definitely need all that metadata from like a DB sync. And I think there are solutions, API solutions, that, you know, a stake pool operator can offer on their nodes to offer up a DB sync to the public or to their own wallet infrastructure. Yeah, that's on our horizon. That's definitely something. I think the submit API is kind of the easy part, right? Like that's pretty much, you fire that up on just about any node and it's good to go.
Yep. Just send it to the relay.
Right. So the DB sync is a bit more resource intensive. Like you gotta, you know, plan for a large hard drive, plan for more memory usage. Yeah, we're going to do that on some 100% renewable energy. And we're going to do that with HODLR and really any stake pool that wants to join us. So, yeah.
It'd be really cool to see the kind of resources that needs. Yeah, when you get that set up, obviously outside the scope of this video, I was just interested, but it would be really cool to see like what that setup is, like how the power consumption stuff looks, because like I've got panels that are just working right now and essentially powering my parents' car, and that's about it, other than the node. So there's space for more use, more power. So it'd be cool if it works. It could maybe set one up on mine as well.
Yeah. The DB, this database is going to continue to grow, and I think anybody who plans on doing this should expect very large hard drive requirements in the future. And there's already been a lot of talk about memory requirements on our nodes increasing. And of course, that's going to, you know, go along with any wallet backends. It's going to be exacerbated in any wallet backends for sure. So yeah, it's a big consideration, especially for small stake pools who are. I mean, HODLR isn't making money right now. We definitely have, you know, a lot of our own costs into this, and we do plan on setting up servers specifically for these backends. But yeah, hoping for some help from Catalyst, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, when obviously the scope of this proposal is basically to get the Lucem on Google, right?
Right.
That's basically what this is for.
Foot in the door. It's our minimum viable product. Yeah.
This is phase one, exactly. So when it comes around to implementing that, I would expect you to go through Catalyst to help figure that out, because there's a huge implication of technology or at least specifications rolled out to the greater community as a result of that work. And this is kind of my perspective on what Catalyst is about, right? It's about funding people who are doing great work for the community and or for the adoption of Cardano, obviously, but the community is a big part of that. And I really hope that you do go through Catalyst when it comes time, because that's the right use case for it,
We're going to keep pounding the pavement on Catalyst. My partner and brother Abe has really been leading the charge in Catalyst for HODLR, and he's been getting more and more involved. I know, Rhys, you're very involved. You're a circle advisor. Is that what your title is?
Circle rep, yeah, basically.
Circle rep. So I know you're very involved. I think Catalyst is a really powerful idea. I think it's going to have a tremendous impact. It already has had a tremendous impact on Cardano, and it's only going to, I think the plans in Catalyst are for it to continue to grow funding wise and to improve the process. And what a powerful concept for a blockchain, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Well, Ben, I think we've just about covered everything about the wallet and a couple of extra bits as well. Is there anything else that you want to talk about or that you want to mention, anything that I've forgotten, because I'm prone to doing that before we kind of sign off?
I don't know, maybe a couple shout outs. My
Delegate
brother
to HODLR.
And sister. Yeah. Delegate to HODLR, please. We are growing. We are trying to grow. We are continuing to grow. We're very excited about being part of Cardano. The community has been welcoming and incredible, and we've made some friends. Rhys, I consider you a friend now, so I appreciate you having me on. Very early on, I reached out to another stake pool for advice. And it's Volcy, VOLCY. That's his ticker. And Greg and I have become close friends through all of this. We've tackled some technical issues between our pools in together. And I consider him a close friend now. And to get on the ground floor of a movement like Cardano, and start to get traction and make some great friends while doing so. It doesn't get much better than that, really. So we're really excited.
Yeah, it is exciting. I was surprised myself sometimes how many internet friends I have now,
right? All over the world.
All over the world, right? And we do, so we end up doing calls at midnight or at 5 a.m. or at 11 a.m. or at 4 p.m. or whatever, because you're working around the globe now. And it's really cool just meeting people all over the place and just jumping on a call with them like this and having a good chat about what people are working on, because it's great to kind of understand other people's perspectives on it as well and kind of get them on and get a bit of promotion. Yeah,
absolutely. Someday I hope to meet a lot of my new Cardano internet friends in real life. I think that'll be really cool when we can all get together and enjoy our company and maybe a cheers to our successes in Cardano.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you come over to sunny London, you let us know and we'll go grab a beer or some dinner or something.
Yeah, I'll be there next week.
You just let me know, mate. I'm not kidding. I've got a bed. I'll pop a bed up for you now.
I'm not joking. My family and I are heading to London on the 1st.
Oh, perfect. Oh, well then definitely hit me up. Definitely. Yeah. It'd be really good to see you.
Let's do it.
Perfect.
For sure.
All right, mate. Well, I'm going to cut it off here then. Thank you so much, Ben, for joining, and I'll see you in a couple of days.
Thanks for having us, Rhys. Talk to
Wicked.
you later.
See ya.
Yeah.
Right, guys, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed my discussion with Ben about his Lucem project. There's definitely going to be a Stoic wallet out there in the very near future. Don't forget to vote for his proposal, Lucem, in Catalyst Fund 8. I'll have links down below so you can check all that out. Voting starts very, very soon. Yeah, guys, that's it. You know, do the usual YouTube stuff. Give us a like, share, comments, you know, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll catch up with you in the next one. See you then.